You are now tuned in to the excellence of execution, welcoming Paul, DF, and your co-host, Marley.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Dan.
Hi.
Season 5, episode 2. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, there you have it. You see, now that you're sitting beside me.
You told me at lunch that it doesn't work for us to sit next to each other because our knees are touching, and then you pat my knee, but it makes me feel really good. But you don't like it, so I like it. So I don't know.
Is he really patting your knee?
Oh, he patted my knee because I went like this a couple times with the old episode, and he said, "Dan, don't worry."
That never happened. I promise it
Oh,
didn't.
and
Listen, we have a special guest here. I've been trying to bring Angelo
you're
on
the looks, I'm
for
the brains.
2 years.
You're the
Oh
looks,
my
I'm the
God,
brains.
can you let him
That's what I
introduce-
was told. I was told today you're the looks, I'm the brains.
He was told that he was. He didn't take.
I was Mar, I
he
swear.
He didn't
The
take that
looks?
I
good.
didn't take it well because I think I'm handsome.
You are
Thanks.
handsome.
I'm just going to be the
You're
rat in
handsome.
the
Am I
corner of
handsome
the
or
room.
what?
You're pretty handsome.
Thank
That,
you.
that beard.
Thank you.
Do you want? So do you want to tell Ange who you get told that you look like?
Yeah, Ange. Paul tells me I look like Danny DeVito.
I did not tell him.
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I did not say
Or
that.
or
to him.
Billy Crystal.
I did not say that.
Oh, well, go ahead. You tell him.
You said Jonah Hill or Post Malone is what you get.
Post Malone or Min if it's Post Malone
Right?
circa 2024.
Not Jonah Hill, but Post Malone.
Yeah, I don't see.
But like a much better.
No, I
looking
see
version.
Jonah Hill a lot
What a
more.
compliment from Ange. He has good taste. He has really good taste.
Handsome lad himself.
He's
Hit me in
the
the
most
face.
handsome lad ever.
I
We're
agree.
sort of related.
Marley, take it easy.
Oh,
do
she's
anything.
not his cup of tea, anyways.
Right.
So Ange, welcome
But-
officially.
She would be if.
Yes, see, is that the nicest compliment?
It is. It is.
It is. It's a very nice compliment. So, Ange we're kind of sort of related, and we'll get into that story a little bit later.
Like
but
through
marriage,
Through marriage. Got
Yeah.
it,
So
got
his
it.
cousin Joe is an absolute beauty.
Complete beautician.
Beautician.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is married to my cousin Nat, who's also
Natalina.
Natalie. She was also a beauty.
But not Natalina.
I don't think it's Natalina. I think it's,
It's
just Natalie.
Natalie.
It's Natalie.
Just Natalie.
Natalie, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shut me down.
Natalie was a bridesmaid at my wedding. So me and Ange met
You
at
got
their
married
wedding.
400 years ago,
I
sir.
know. Me and Ange met at their wedding, and Ange took the floor by storm. He was dancing He used to be a dancer. Why don't you tell them?
So you got. Sorry. Before you continue into the dance thing, you got married.
A year before Nat,
Was it
2010,
was
and
it
they
14 years ago?
2011.
14 years ago.
Yeah, 14 years ago. Yeah.
Were you a real estate agent 14 years
No.
ago? No. Okay.
7 years.
So what context did you guys meet each other under?
Just as we were
Just
like family. Yeah. that's
Joe
it.
and Natalie's wedding.
Yeah, Joe and Natalie's wedding.
And what were you doing back then?
How long ago was that?
That was
14 years
13
ago.
years ago. They were
So
2011.
I was working at CIBC.
Okay, nice.
ABC.
Okay, cool. So I'm sorry.
So we met there, and Joe and Ange are really. Were you an usher? I'm trying to
I
remember.
was.
You were, yeah.
I was best man.
Best man.
Oh,
yeah. So Ange
wow.
made a
Are
great
you
speech.
Oh, it's my favorite Italian song. Are you kidding?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you're Italian.
You know Dan's
Okay.
not. He's Jewish, right?
I know.
You know?
Dan-
Okay.
Dan's
The last
for
name
sure.
gave it away.
Yeah, Finkelberg. So we met at the wedding.
Burger.
He did an amazing speech, and then the music came on, and he just took over the dance floor.
Talk to me.
Because
what happened?
Angelo used to dance a
Professionally?
little bit.
No, I used to
Like
like
Dancing with the Stars?
no, like go dance at not like a stripper.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
At like remember Music
That is
Nightclub back in
Yeah.
the day?
I do
Yeah.
remember
Music?
music
Yeah.
with a Z. I do.
Yes, with
I
a
do,
Z,
I do,
exactly.
I do.
So I was like 5 years like head male go dancer there. Yeah.
He's got moves, literally.
We're on camera now. Should we see them or no?
No.
Okay,
We're
sorry.
not doing that.
My
soon, no.
apologies.
No, I
But
can
anyway,
send you
so-
some.
That's
So we
like
got
the
to meet
intro
Dad,
video
and then-
is like him dancing.
And then we would just see
That'd
each
be
other
the
at their
best.
like their family
So
stuff.
how did
and
you guys end up like, kind of forming a professional relationship?
It's a good question.
I think you reached out.
Yeah, I did reach out. I asked Joe. Yeah, I reached out, but because he started really getting big on the real estate scene, like you did extremely well in a very short period of time. It's been 5 years now. You've been in real estate.
This is my seventh.
Seventh, right? And once I came over to the brokerage side, I just asked Joe. I said, Joe, like, Ange is killing it. I'd love to do business with him because obviously, like, I know we're very, very similar with our work ethic. Angelo he would call me any times of the night, 11 o'clock sometimes. I'd answer, and he's always working around the clock. And again, we were able to really understand and deliver great service to the client. So it was fantastic. I was fortunate.
May I ask a question?
Sure, you can.
Coming from dancing.
Oh my God, that's not what he did. He
I
did that for
know.
fun, bro. It wasn't his profession.
Oh, wasn't a professional?
No, I was
You
not.
worked at
Oh,
CIBC
I was working
before.
at CIBC. Yeah.
Okay, so coming from CIBC,
Covered from CIBC. Yeah.
you know.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I'll give you.
That's really good.
I'm gonna let everybody calm down.
Oh, no, but that was really good.
I'm gonna let everybody.
Dancing
calm
with the Stars.
down. I've done a couple mortgages for some
so
folks on Dancing with the
serious.
Stars.
Oh, did you?
That was
Not
so
bad,
good.
not bad.
So
It's got to be
I'll
a
give, I'll give you some
snippet.
context. Okay, I'm having dinner with a buddy on Thursday. Okay, and he
Past
looks
Thursday or upcoming Thursday?
just the one that happened, and he looks at me and he says, "Dan, how did you start in scaling your business, right? And it's such a rudimentary question that has so many layers, in my opinion. My question to you is, you come from the bank, and you go the untraditional route, which is into real estate sales as opposed to real estate financing, which is what him and I did, and Marley. How did you scale to where you are today?
So when I was actually at CIBC, I started as like a personal banking representative. Then I moved my way up to head office, kind of slowly, moved up the ladder there. But I actually got into doing mortgages. I was doing mortgages, but it was like a business development manager of mortgages. So I had like a team of like 50 agents between yeah. But just, it's different in the bank, of course, right? Just like managing that. So it was all the way from Barrie. So it was north, like Barrie to Sudbury, all the way to Ottawa. That was my region. But again, like I always I enjoyed it. I loved it. But deep down, I always knew that I wanted to be get into real estate. And
why? Like, why not the financing side? Why the sales side? Like, what in your head was like the pivotal moment that said, I don't want to be in the functional side of money. I'd like to be in the person side of, putting people in their dream homes.
In their dream homes. So that's exactly it. I just prefer like working with people a lot more. I felt mortgages or being in the banks, it wasn't as much face to face, and I prefer that, interaction, that building that relationship. So if you want, I could tell you kind of like how I got into real estate.
Please, yes.
So I was very intrigued by real estate even as like a young kid. My Aunt Cindy, actually, she's a realtor, and I would always see her at like family functions, like on her like Bluetooth, like wheeling and dealing, negotiating deals, weekends, nights, even it didn't matter. And I was like very intrigued by that. Like instead of always being at that like 9 to 5 desk job, like that didn't appeal to
boring.
me. That was boring.
Yeah.
So even you remember back in the day, they used to have like the take your kid to work day at school.
Yes.
So I didn't go with my parents. I went with her because I was like very like
Shout out Cindy,
right? And believe it or not, yeah. So she's still a realtor today. Obviously, she's been in the business over 30 years. So it's nice that like that full circle moment kind of happened. Now we kind of like talk real estate together. It's great, but it was hard. Like real estate's it's 100% commission. It's not an easy career to just like jump into, right?
No.
Andrew, I got a question.
Yeah.
It sounds to me that every single desire that you've had has never been money related, and I find that when it's never monetary related, you become that much more successful. Would you agree?
Well, for sure, because when you love what you do and you're passionate about it, the money just comes naturally, right?
Make sure that blows up.
On
the video.
It's
true, man.
And it's
you didn't say one thing about commissions. You didn't say nothing about anything. You said, I want to put people where they belong. I want to be a part of that journey. I saw my Aunt Cindy, who's been extremely successful. And when people lead with me when it comes to, I'm here to make a buck, I find it to be extremely short-sighted, and I find them to be in the business not for the right reasons. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying like you should be here to hustle and you should be here to make money. But my dad always said to me, since I was a little kid, and I don't know if Paul's gonna get upset with me right now, is there's 3 things you don't chase in life. Okay, number 1 is women,
or men.
Number 2 is men. Women or men. Number 2 is money, and number 3 is dogs, because you'll never catch any of them. And I've lived my life that way my entire life.
My dog used to run away, and I used to catch it.
Why would I get mad at you for any of that? I don't understand.
I don't know. It's
I don't like dogs.
2024, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I used to kick your dog under the table.
Don't say that to him. He's a big dog lover.
Yeah,
Please don't
and
say
I bring
that.
my dog in sometimes, and Paul doesn't care.
You come to the office once a year. There's nothing to talk about, Marlon, so I don't know what you think you're doing here. Okay? All right?
Stop it.
So I'm lucky today then.
Yeah,
you
you
go.
are.
Yeah,
I
she's
came in
here
just
for you.
for you.
And
Terrific.
you're an absolute stud.
Thank you.
And what I'm trying to say here is that
Love is blind?
when your
Oh, no. Is that...
when your ambitions are driven by monetary gain, it's often blinded by doing the right thing. And I find that when you're doing the right thing, maybe the money doesn't come immediately, but it certainly comes.
And it comes later, and it comes more often because
Yeah.
It's
when
a
you
multiplier.
exactly because when you're doing it for the right reasons and you're not chasing a dollar or a quick deal, your clients remember that, and they know that you actually did this for the right reason. You put them in the right home, not the home that was the easiest to put them into necessarily, right? And then what do? They refer you to all of their friends and family.
Yeah.
And that's
So you're 100% right there. And Paul, I'm so hijacking this conversation. I shouldn't
No,
be.
it's okay. I just want to make sure you can finish the story.
Okay.
For me, I'm all good.
My question to you is, as a real estate agent who is motivated by putting people in the right property at the right time, how important is it for you to have the right team around you? And what I mean by team is lawyer, mortgage broker, mortgage agent, inspector, etc. How important is that to you?
I think it's so important because it becomes like the way that I run my business, and Paul's a big part of that business because he's my guy. Let's be real. So for me, I like to operate as kind of like a one-stop shop. So you're going to come to me to sell your home, but not only that, I'm going to, get you connected with the right lawyer, the right mortgage broker. I have my team of stagers. I have my photographers. I have every single thing you need. My handyman, if you need things around your house fixed, painters, whatever it is. So they literally have to do nothing. I have my movers, everybody that I can recommend and refer them to.
That's amazing.
They
Yeah.
literally have to do nothing. They hire me and everything gets done.
First of all, that's incredible. The fact that you said handyman, stagers. I
I
didn't
know.
even, I didn't even, I didn't even think of
I
that.
didn't even think about that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. So really, my question to you, and if I could highlight one particular aspect, which is what we do here, is what are some key attributes that you find Paul separates himself from other mortgage brokers that I imagine will reach out to you on a daily basis, say,
Every
hey,
day.
Ange,
Every single day.
I'd like the opportunity. What can I do? You're a very successful real estate broker. How can I be a part of that journey? I want to know, to the listeners out there, whether they, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, mortgage brokers, what is it that Paul does that makes the relationship between the two of you special, outside of you guys being, blood relatives?
Right. And you know what? Even though we could say we're related, whatever, I did have that trust in him from the start. But aside from that, I didn't work with Paul on like a business level prior to that. So I still really didn't know, how he operated in that sense. But for me and Paul, that separates him above anyone and everyone is that he's so readily available, accessible, and it doesn't matter what time I call him. This guy answers the phone, and it could be 11 o'clock at night. He's answering, and if he doesn't, he'll literally call me back within minutes. So to me, that's so important because as a realtor, I literally work around the clock till midnight every single day, and if I have to bounce a question off him, and I've been in like situations where I was in multiple offers, there could have been like 10 offers on a property and, I needed to know if I was able to go up to this number or what I needed to do. And I'm like, Paul, like, can we make this work?
Yeah, he called
and
me.
He was
client
available.
at 10:30, 11. Yeah, when you
Yeah,
were
and
you were sitting outside their house.
Yeah,
I
and he
remember
was
that
and
night.
he was there, ready to help, right? And again, if he didn't answer the
I
call
don't
at
miss
that
this-
time,
I don't think I've ever missed a 1 year
yeah,
close.
I might have not been able to close that deal.
I think that table stakes, like you like to call them, are so important. Like, forget the best rate, forget like, the brokerage that you're with or the type of mortgage that you're selling. The fact that you're just readily available, which you don't have to tell me. I will text this guy at 1 a.m, and if I tell him I need him, he's going to be available, is the reason why this whole industry is changing. Because I find that some old school brokers are look at themselves almost as old school lawyers, like 9 to 5, don't talk to me after. Like, the new school of lawyers that if you need me, I'm there. If you need me to figure out a way to get a deal done, if you need me to figure out a way to kind of position an application, if a broker needs to come in and say, I need to be available for my real estate agent or my center of influence, we gotta be there. The world is no longer a 9 to 5 world. We're actually a 5 to 9 world.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
Especially in this country, man. Yep.
5 to 9 world.
you need a group around you, and I'm saying that from his perspective, from her perspective, from your perspective, from Max's perspective, to be available. If you think you're gonna go home at 5 o'clock and watch, Vanderpump Rules at
Of all the
I
shows,
love it, but it's boring this season.
I never
It's so
watched it. I
boring.
never watched it. I never
So
watched it.
boring.
It's not boring at all.
Do you like it or no?
Yeah, but
Max
it's
is
boring.
laughing in the
this
corner
season.
over there.
The group that you have around you of mortgage broker, lawyer, stager, handyman, which is so beyond what I would have thought a realtor could think about, is the reason why you're successful, man.
Even
You know
a
what I'm
moving
saying?
company.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Moving company,
That's.
yeah.
I feel like that's
like you're
hard to find somebody
you're
good.
so beyond selling a property or buying a property. You're like fully integrated into the entire process.
Industry process.
You know what I'm saying?
He's
And
always
like,
hustling.
You're very
He's-
hands-on.
you know,
too.
I listen, I'm not on social media, but I can only imagine you're an absolute stud on social media, okay? I don't think it drives any business towards you, but I think what it does is it sharpens the fact that you're a complete professional.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you have Paul, you have your mover, you have your handyman. Like if I bought a house, right? And I move into the house and I love it. I'm like, this is the perfect property for me. And my kitchen faucet starts to leak. And I have no idea. It's my first time buying a house. Who am I calling? I'm not calling Paul.
No.
I'm calling you.
Calling me.
Because you sold me the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Where do I go? And if you have a handyman in your pocket saying, I got Marley in my back pocket, they're going to come to your house tomorrow. Dude, I'm going to refer the world to you.
I could probably do it.
I'm going to refer the world to you.
Yeah.
So we could dive into social, which we will in a second, but how did you
Also,
scale
a lot
your
of notes
business?
over there.
No. How did you give me the activities of how you scaled your business? I know personally, but I want to share with the listeners. So 6 years, year over year, you continue to go up. You continue to win all these awards that I see. I think you were the most recent one in 2023 with Royal LePage was, what did you win?
Highest gross commission income.
It's
Wow,
incredible.
That's amazing.
Incredible. So in order to win that though, obviously it means a lot to you what you're doing for your clients, but you need to scale your business. And I know a lot of it's word of mouth, but
Do you
talk
have
to us.
support staff?
I have a full-time assistant.
Okay, and what does she do? What did he or she do for you?
So she just basically does all of the stuff that ties me up where I'm not able to get out there and sell.
Paperwork.
The
Paperwork.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
I'll
a
admit it.
question.
I hate paperwork. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
No,
you're
that's
good.
fine.
You're good.
We
let,
beep
me ask
it
you,
out.
let me ask you a question. I find that a lot of very successful commission salespeople, and I mean this particularly with commission salespeople, are afraid to invest in support staff. And I don't think support staff is the right word these days. I think that it's, partner in crime, people that can help you elevate your business to a completely different level. It doesn't have to be called an assistant anymore. It doesn't have to be degrading like that. It has to be somebody that is there for you to support you, build you up, and be there with you and participate in the profits. When did you figure out that person was needed in your business?
You know what? I figured it out early, but I didn't take action until last year.
Do you think that was a mistake?
Huge mistake.
So tell me a little bit about that. So if you think that it was a mistake, you've been in real estate for what, Paul? Would you say 6 years?
Started my
Almost 7. Yeah,
7
started
years.
7.
When do you think was the right time to hire that support staff? Or
For
that
myself, I'll admit I was pretty fortunate to be busy kind of
early,
right off the
Early,
go.
yeah.
But I feel like I probably should have hired her within my third year.
So you waited double the amount of time, which means that you could have scaled your business to the double size should you have hired them 3 years early.
Right. And that was my own fault. And the only reason why I didn't do it, it wasn't a money thing. It was because I was scared to let go.
Let go.
Exactly.
I agree
Because
with
I
you.
always felt like nobody could do it the way that I want to do it. But you know what? That obviously just eventually it just comes to the point where it's like you can't do it anymore. You train them properly, and she's been great. So
Paul, here's the thing, okay?
Tell me.
I'm gonna stop after this.
No.
There's 2 reasons why people neglect support staff or
Okay.
partners in business or contributory support.
Right.
Number 1 is money, which is obviously not the case, Ange, right? Right?
for this situation, it was not.
right.
No.
Money is certainly a.
Yeah. I hear a lot about.
Right.
I don't want to pay. Yeah.
Secondly, is it needed? Right? Like, is it required? And I think that the second option that I said is if you're thinking it, you probably need it.
Yeah.
Right.
And money-wise, is if you're probably gonna do it, you're probably gonna make double the amount.
I think so.
I think before I left TD, when I was doing really well during that COVID time, I should have got somebody to work with me then, because when I came over, I was very nervous and wanted
probably
to
would've
take
taken
over.
off.
Yeah, I would have probably taken off a lot
Mark,
more.
my opinion of your business even today is that you have so much potential
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're not realizing.
I
And
agree.
and we're speaking about this on camera, that you need to figure out a way where you can scale your business to a capacity where you can continue to work the amount of hours that you work, but also double the amount of business that you do, because you're so capable, you're so smart, you have the abilities, but you're so not willing to invest in yourself.
No,
And
it's so true. And that's
and
why when you said that, I was like, that is literally me.
Well, let's put the posting out.
Yeah. So but
You
no,
and this beep
it
beep.
takes.
Do you have social media?
So it's funny. We always talk about this. And I actually wanted to ask you about it because you post very frequently. I don't know if
He
you want
does.
to ask
Go,
the
no,
question.
please. This is
Did you do
great.
any
But-
research or no?
I did.
Good.
I stalked you.
No, it's okay.
She was very excited for this episode.
Yeah, but everybody tells me you need to do social media, you need to do it, and I'm just really not not that I'm not photogenic. It's just like it's not my comfort zone.
Did you hear
like
that, Ange?
I just.
I have
yes,
a very strong
I'm-
opinion on social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give
I'll
it to
talk-
us.
I want to hear it.
Yeah,
And
but I want to
think
hear what
that
you have to say.
your answer will stem off my question because everybody's like, you need to get into it. It'll take time, but you will start funding in people with questions and stuff like that. You post on social media, it seems whatever you want,
3 to
right?
4
like
times
you
a
don't,
week.
but you also don't care what you post. You post well,
Give us an example, Mar.
but like
No, he
for-
has a good mix, though.
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it's,
no,
it's,
no.
of, it's,
That's
of,
how I'm
it's,
saying.
it's
That's what
like,
she's saying. Whatever you
yeah,
want.
like
you
it's
post whatever you
personal.
want.
Like
Exactly.
sometimes it's with his.
It's not just
like his
business
dog.
related.
Sometimes he's at an event with his cousin who's a DJ. Then it's a listing. Then it's a sold. Then he's
it's a
at a buzz
shirtless pic.
conference. And it's a shirtless pic. It's a great mix.
So
real.
that,
It's
that,
real.
that's
It's a great-
exactly,
real. Like,
that's
it's me.
true.
It's my life.
Personal
Yeah.
and business.
And
Let's
that's
be real.
exactly
Yeah.
where I'm getting
And that's
at.
what I love, dude.
Yeah.
But let's
Like-
be real. Nobody gives a about a
that, right?
complete real estate page or a complete mortgage
No,
page.
man. I want to know who
They-
you are.
Who you are, because
it's
they're
not gonna
hiring
drive
you for
deals,
you.
It's going to drive brand awareness.
Exactly.
right.
So that was my question. You posting a shirtless pic, you
Like,
posting.
you're totally fit.
Thanks.
Beyond.
Yeah, he's like, you posting like, designer stuff.
Yeah.
Like, are you wearing it? Do you think that would or has impacted your business, or do you think that helped you succeed to where you've gotten?
It's a good question. When I first started in real estate, I'll be completely honest. I always felt that I needed to fit this certain mold of this professional realtor. Could only be in a suit.
In a
couldn't
suit,
show
yeah.
my tattoos.
Yeah.
Didn't even wear
Can we
piercings.
see the tattoos or no?
Yeah. Well,
What do we got
do
here?
you want to see the
What do
ones
you-
on
what
my
do you-
legs too?
Everything.
So this
What are you, The
goes all
Rock?
the way up.
But yeah, so when you first started, you thought you had to fit a brand.
Yeah, I had to fit this certain mold, and again, I wouldn't show anything. I wouldn't show my piercings or my tattoos, because again, I just didn't want to be judged or felt that I wasn't professional by having this. But then I started to realize, doing well, becoming a little bit more comfortable, and then I started thinking to myself, like, you know what, like it's better to just show who I am, because I want to work with people that are like me.
Appreciative of your
Appreciative,
self-expression.
Exactly.
100%.
I think it all comes from like, if they don't want to work with you because of what you post, then that's fine. And I feel like that is my biggest thing. I just feel like I need to like get over that.
Get over it,
Like
exactly.
I'm too worried about people judging me and
Yeah.
thinking things about me.
So about judgment really quickly. My dad's my best friend. Okay, my confidant, my hero. Paul is
Dad first.
Paul is my best friend as well.
And I am after today.
Yeah,
Yes.
certainly,
Right.
certainly.
There it
But
goes.
what
Trio.
I'm leading to here is that since I was a little kid, my dad always taught me a few things. Okay, number one is do not ever pass judgment on anybody. Because you have no idea where they come from. And if you think that they're not going to pass judgment on you knowing where you come from, you shouldn't pass judgment about them. And I've lived my life that way my entire life. So you come in tattooed, you come in pierced, you come in jacked, you come in fat, you come in short, you come in skinny. It doesn't matter. It's who are you as a person that matters. And that's made my life incredibly easy. Okay? Secondly, my father always told me, Dan, if you ever feel jealousy, squash it. It's not conducive. It doesn't help. It's something that I've cascaded into his life. It's something I cascade into everybody's life. Don't ever feel jealousy. Just shut it down, because your life will just be that much better.
Yeah. Cheer those people on. Don't be jealous
Exactly.
of them. You win together.
Exactly.
Because there's so much opportunity out there to do everything that you want to do. And I think self-expression in today's world is the most beautiful thing. And if you want to go out there and you want to wear the earrings and you want to show your tattoos and you want to self-express who you are today, that are the people that you're going to attract, which is what you want at the end of the day, because you want to work with people that respect you for who you are and not for what you're not. Right, Mar?
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I find that people are afraid to self-express. And look, I'll give you my honest opinion. Like my honest opinion. When I see real estate agents going out on TikTok or Instagram, which I'm not a part of, I'm only seeing as a bystander, and making jokes of listings or making funny memes of real estate practices. If I were a consumer, I'd say I'm out. It's not somebody I want to work with, personally. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I'm just saying it for myself, Paul. You could tell me, Mar. You could tell me yourself. But if you're going to truly represent who you are, love your dog, show me your personality, show me your piercings, show me your tattoos, show me the way you like to dress, show me the way you like to eat, show me the way you like to go out, I'm in. I'm totally buying into that.
But I think that's how you connect with people too.
I agree.
Because if those people have similar interests as you do, then they're more likely to message you and trust you and build that connection with you, and then they want to use you and they want to work with you. And that's how I built my business.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I would say as a bird's eye view is, from his page in particular, he doesn't do it for the purpose of business. He does it because he just posts what he wants
loves
and he feels.
Yeah.
And if anyone posts for the essence of getting business, you're never going to get business that way.
Did you say the excellence of execution?
The essence of business. Because you're thinking, I'm going to post this with hoping someone's going to see this shirt and say, or my dog and say, I have the same. Again, you're doing it because in the moment you want the world to see it. Mm-hmm. And it's got to be genuine and just.
But that's the thing, bro. It's got to be genuine.
But a lot of people post with strategy behind it,
Correct.
and that's the challenge.
Yeah.
That's not
With social.
Edge.
No.
Ray,
Ray when I saw your page, I'm like, I
edge.
like him.
That's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
like
saying.
him.
Yeah.
It's genuine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like, if you're genuine, and this could be a crazy, throw into the world, because I'm not a part of the social media world, because it's just not something that I participate in. But if you're genuine on social media, it means you're genuine in your business practices.
100%.
And if you're not willing to lie on social media, which is the easiest thing to do, you're not going to lie to me if you're telling me that this is the property for me, or if this is the property not for me, which is an even bigger effect.
Yeah, for
Do you
sure.
agree or disagree?
I totally agree. You're right.
Speaking of being your true self, I want to quickly talk about, obviously, I know Marley stalked your Instagram. I do a lot of research, obviously.
I did so much
folks.
research.
You don't need to. You just bring the fire. So
Paul just
you're
brings
good.
you up to date.
We're going to get into the rebranding, which I love, all the pictures in Italy. My cousin Michelle thought you moved to Italy, which is hilarious.
Lasciatemi cantare.
It's Lasciatemi cantare.
Lasciatemi cantare.
Not Sasha, but anyways, it's okay.
It's okay. He'll get it.
So there was a picture that you took in Oakville, where you reside right now, standing over, painted on the road was the pride flag.
Yeah.
And it was one that you really, I think, put out to the universe as something that is near and dear to your heart. Do you want to talk a little bit, because that's a very powerful picture, in my opinion, on your profile. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, again, going back to when I was talking, where we were talking about having to fit that professional mold when I was first a realtor, I didn't really show who I was. And I'll say, since I've been in this business, that's probably been my biggest mistake, is that I wish I showed who I was from the start. But I was always very afraid of being judged. I'm very proud to be gay and be who I am. But
We're allies, bro.
yeah, we're allies.
We're complete allies.
Of course.
Yeah, we're
and
allies.
anybody who's not is whatever.
We're not going to talk about it. But we're allies.
We're allies. Yeah. So again, I don't know why I thought this, but I was just so I was afraid of being judged. I thought if people knew I was gay, then they wouldn't want to work with me. But
why? What's the notion that precluded you from feeling accepted? Why?
because I guess it's the world that we live in. Not everybody is as accepting and understands that, you know, it is what it is. But then I started to realize that as I was, you know, more years in the business, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't give a shit what these people think. If they don't want to work with me because of who I am, truly who I am, and just being gay, like, those aren't people I want to work with anyways.
Yeah.
I don't even need your money. I don't want your money, right? So
Not even money. I don't even want your time.
I don't want your time. I don't want I don't want to even talk to you.
I think that you shine when you are your true self.
You're exactly.
And your true self is absolute perfection, even in its imperfection.
Right.
Yeah, but none of those things.
So
none of those
cute.
things. It was very nice.
Thanks, Mark.
So
None of
cute.
those things would matter about your skill set and being an amazing realtor.
Right.
Though.
But for some people, they still, you know, they have their views and
Yeah, that's
But,
right.
it's,
you
but
know,
bro, we're in 2024.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I know.
Like-
Most
like-
people
like
think
Ange,
like us,
Ange,
but a lot of people
Ange,
do not.
Ange,
You're
Ange.
right. It's
Whatever you
true.
do in your spare time has nothing to do with who you are as a professional real estate
yeah.
agent. It means nothing.
He's incredible at his
It
craft.
It means nothing. You are absolutely a beautician, as per Paul said. Okay, and people are lucky to work with you in your particular
Right.
markets and in what you do, and you are working on perfecting your craft. And who you love is independent of what you do for work, man.
Right.
Dan's so complimentary.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
He
love
really
it.
is taking a liking to you.
I'm an
but it's the
ally.
truth.
He's
I'm
an
an ally,
ally.
man.
Yeah,
You
we
have a
know.
great-
we know.
great
There's
choice
so,
of
there's so
words.
many
You know,
good
I
clips
grew-
for us to put out here.
Ange, I grew up
Where'd you grow up?
with immigrant parents.
Right.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. If I had a LGBTQ
Plus.
child, I would be ecstatic, and I'll tell you why.
I love that you said that. Thank you.
because if they're willing to share it with me, it means they're comfortable to go into the world.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
And
powerful piece.
how many suicides have happened for folks that aren't comfortable of sharing it? How many people
my God.
How many people are in
Depression.
depression?
Yeah.
I don't want that, man.
No. And you have to be a supporter.
You have to be a supporter. And ultimately, if that's what you like, then that's what it is, my man.
Yeah, you can't lose your child.
No,
We're not living
no.
in 1922, man.
No.
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 I know.
I agree.
Right? Like,
Very
we
powerful
have to
message.
be accepting, and we have to enhance and engage and bring up the people that don't feel comfortable in who they are, because what they grew up with doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's what it is. They're literally you're hurting nobody. You know,
No.
you're just being yourself.
Yourself.
That's it. And why should you be judged for that? But
I agree.
And I'll be honest, ever since I going back to that photo, ever since I posted that and I started showing my true authentic self, my business it only continued to grow every single year. I was never judged. Nothing changed.
Be
like
you, boo-boo.
being a gay realtor, I feel like, you know, if it's a husband and a wife couple, the husband doesn't have to worry about me going after his wife.
For sure.
Because I'm not interested.
Is the wife
and then,
worried?
is the wife worried?
I would be worried. I would be worried.
But I'm just saying, maybe.
Would you be worried?
I would be worried.
Yeah.
I
But
would
on,
be
but on the other side of it too, like I you know, I'm very involved in sports and that. So
He's an
can.
incredible baseball player, by the way.
Thank you.
He plays like
Yeah.
top division in Oakville.
do you
yeah.
play?
And in
Like
Oakville.
position?
Yeah.
Center field.
Oh, you're center field.
Yeah.
He just you were.
We should do a baseball tournament, like a.
Marley, you'd show up one game out of 12.
Yeah.
Okay?
you-
No, I would
Marley
actually.
was
come.
actually really good in soccer, but Ange,
I'm
when
very
he moved
good
to
at
Oakville,
everything.
they have a league.
Marley's very good at not
I
showing
had
up.
the best hit at golf the time we went.
the best hit at golf, right?
Is that what it's called?
the best
You're right,
drive.
best drive.
Best drive.
Yeah.
So when he joined the Oakville League, they do a draft. No one knew who he was. I think he went the fourth round or
No, that year I was the second round.
second round, and then you went like
You're not
first or
going to the
second
show,
overall.
Ange, or what?
No. I'm
He's a big Jays fan.
a huge
Are you?
Jays
Yeah, we
fan,
give him
yeah.
some tickets.
Did
of
you?
ours, yeah.
I'll tell you what. I wasn't a big sports fan growing up. Immigrant family, you know, go work. Tim Hortons, 8 years, head bagler.
I was
Head bagler.
I was head go-go
There it
dancer,
is.
head bagler.
I'm the head
That's the
bagler.
truth.
Marley, I'm a head bagler.
Yeah.
And I recently got into sports and baseball because of Max and yourself.
Oh, Max
And,
first.
and
Not
and-
you, Max.
and,
the other Max.
Paul Cuto and
No,
Max.
no, it's okay.
Max, okay. And I quickly fell in love with the game of baseball, bro.
Yeah.
I like quickly fell. In
I
love
love
with
that because a lot of people they find it
I
slow and
love-
boring,
I love
but it's
it.
good. It's
See, I'd rather
strategic.
play it than watch
There's so
it.
much more than meets the eye, kind of like you, Ange.
Oh,
Oh, hello. Beep beep. So, Ange, you recently rebranded yourself. It's Angelo Persico 2.0. You went to Italy to do a photo shoot.
Angelo Finkelberg?
No.
Sorry.
No, I don't think he's the guy that's gonna take anyone's last name.
Right.
I think
Don't.
that's-
Never.
Yeah.
Don't.
See, there you go. That's a different conversation.
I might
altogether.
hyphenate it, but we'll.
There you go. Hyphenate. There you go. There's a.
If there's any takers out there.
So, what led you to rebrand? And obviously, maybe it was just an excuse to go to Italy again and
Yeah.
take pictures because he does his photo shoots in Italy, which
La
is incredible.
Shatanica.
It's okay.
No, it wasn't appropriate.
No, it's
It's
fine.
okay.
So, talk to us a little about that.
So, do you want me to go back to how this whole Italy brand started
Yeah,
in the first
yeah,
place,
and then-
and,
Piano.
and how 2.0 came
Yes,
from
please,
it? Okay.
please.
So it's a long story, but
No, it's
I'll get
quick as
into
you
it.
want.
Long
Yeah.
story short.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I was in real estate for 2 years when I first decided to do a rebrand. I hired a company called M Industries. Incredible. They do all the biggest realtors and teams.
Like you.
I guess so. Yeah. So I knew that they were good. The people I needed to hire. So again, I wanted to just separate myself from all of the other realtors. I had this whole professional image. I wanted to do something different, be my stuff.
In what way did you think you were going to separate yourself?
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you right now. You ready? You'll be singing the song right after. Yeah. So I called her, the owner of the company, and I told her I want to do something different. I need to separate myself. I kind of want to tie in my Italian heritage into my brand, because Italians are very, as you know, are you Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Camilleri.
Are you related to Mike?
No.
The hockey player? Okay.
No.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
You're Italian.
No, I'm half though. I'm only half.
Oh, you're half. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm the only guy in this room that eats tripa.
Oh, skeeve. I would never.
Skeeve.
Yeah.
Even at a stag, you won't.
Yeah. So
Italy.
So I wanted to tie my Italian heritage. We're very family oriented people. As a realtor, I work with a lot of families. It's important to me to put them into a home and watch them grow, right? So I wanted to connect on that level, tie in my Italian heritage. So I called her and I said, "This is what I want to do." So she's like, "All right, let me think about it." She calls me back like an hour later and she's like, "Okay, this might sound crazy, but why don't we shoot all of your branding, your photos, your videos, everything in Rome, in Italy?" And I'm
That's
like,
a crazy comment.
Isn't it?
That's a crazy
better than
comment.
Market Lane.
That's a crazy comment because she says to you, like, let's leave the country.
right, to film your branding as a GTA realtor.
But why
in
Rome?
Italy.
Why not like
the capital of
Tuscany?
Italy.
But why not like Tuscany? It's beautiful. It's green. Or the south. It's mountainous and water. Like
Yeah, I don't
why?
know. I
Why
don't know
Rome?
why Rome.
I think
don't.
Marley wanted to say something, if that's okay.
Were you worried that people would think differently because it's in Italy?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I did, but then what I was also thinking at the same time is that if this doesn't work, whatever. At least I still got a nice
got a
trip out of
trip.
Italy. right?
Exactly. You got a trip.
Still
Like
got a
whatever.
trip.
It's an opportunity, right?
But we did it. I mean, she was talking to me. I'm like, "You're crazy. There's no way in hell I'm going to Italy." Right? Yeah. But then I'm like, I hung up the phone. I thought about it and I was like,
You're like, we're
you know
going
what?
to-
This. No, sorry. I keep swearing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Beep, beep. Yeah. I'm
don't
like,
worry,
you know
don't
what?
worry.
No other realtor has ever done
No,
this. I've
never.
ever
I don't want to do a BP.
has ever,
Stop.
filmed, done their branding in another country. And I'm like, who cares? Let's do it. Like, it's different. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
called you for.
Did you have to pay for her trip?
Yes, I did, of course.
Classic.
Oh,
That's
actually,
why Max wants us to
no.
pay for him to
Yeah,
go
no, is
record.
that why you want us to go to record in Italy? Because you want to come to Italy?
That's not
Obviously.
true. She was already going there for something else. For the first trip, I did not. For the second trip, I went back. Yes, I did.
That's okay.
But that's okay. That's the way it is.
That's how you build
that's
your
how it
business. You gotta
is.
spend money
You
to
have
make money.
You have to.
Did you have to pay for every meal?
Spend money, make money. Beep, beep.
Yeah. That's
so
really cool,
so
though.
yeah, so I went there. I went to Italy. We filmed. We took amazing shots at the Colosseum. There was this old jail that was called something Angelo. So my name was in there, and like it was the videos. It was sick. It was
And
really
you,
good.
how many days did you go for?
I was there for like a week the first
Week?
time.
And you guys were filming all 7 days?
No, like maybe like 4 or 5.
Was it videos or photos?
Videos, photos. I'll
Both.
show you
You
after.
brought all
There's
these
tons.
facts.
Can
look
you
great.
on the things like throw up the videos like over the thing? Thank you.
Photos. I have old photos from the first trip and the second
be
trip.
cool.
It's all there right now.
Yeah,
but
that'd be really cool.
But you know what? I'll admit it worked. It worked. We came home.
Did you feel like you rebranded and became a new person,
Yes.
or just rebranded?
No, I became a new person because now I'm showing me. It wasn't just me looking.
So what is the importance?
Cool
of
and
like a
that?
serious.
model. Looking
Yeah.
like a model.
But
It was-
what is the importance? Forget the business for a sec. What is the importance to your kind of mindset about your business through going through that journey and spending that kind of money?
What do you mean? I don't
Like what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people won't invest that kind of money, go to a different country, spend money on a professional photographer. Like, how did it make you feel mentally to be able to go through that outside of monetarily, and what did it do to your business?
I was scared. I'll admit, because I'm like, it was a big investment, but I saw it as an investment, and I knew that even if I were to pick up one client from this branding, it'll probably pay for itself, right?
And would you recommend this to new agents starting out to really be their authentic self and take it to that next level to say, I am Italian, I am Greek, I am whatever the case may be, and show your shoe.
Show your
show
your shoe.
show your true heritage.
Yeah.
Show your true heritage and really take
There's the grappa.
advantage of
Absolutely.
who you are as a person. Would
Absolutely.
you recommend that?
Yeah, because it worked
even if
for
it
me.
costs you like that
Yes.
much money.
Because it worked for me, and my business, like I did From that second year when I started to the following third year, my business, it was like more than doubled. It was not tripled, but more than doubled.
And have you always invested in your business? Because the biggest challenge I have when I'm coaching people now is I don't have the money to do this event. I can't take this person.
How much
out.
money did it cost you to do that? Let's be real.
I'm not gonna give it all.
Yeah, give it up.
No,
Give
the first
put it on
time
the
I
table.
can't. The first time was a lot cheaper because it was like 5 years ago.
And
so
she was already going.
The most
I was
recent one.
going.
Let's go talk about the most recent
This
one.
most recent one cost me almost $30K.
30.
Yeah.
Flights alone to Calabria
I know
right
it's
now.
true, or like 3,000 each.
Each.
So 30 grand, which is that's a number.
But you're right. One deal.
That's a
would
number.
Yeah, one deal could cover that,
cover
right?
that. Yeah.
That's a real number.
It's a big number.
It is.
That's
a
I have
big
some
number.
clients that make 30 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, not everyone's able to do that. Very minimal people can do that.
I agree.
Maybe to a lesser
I
extent.
agree.
But the journey that we're on about being your true self and figuring out a way to put that out to people is the message.
That's the message,
And
yeah.
investing in your business. It depends on what scale. If you weren't as successful as you were, you can't drop what you did on
No,
that
you can't.
event.
You could do it on a smaller scale.
But do you as a aspiring professional realtor that is listening to this episode that looks at Ange and says, "Wow, I'm going to get to that stage one day." Do we invest that kind of capital into doing this sort of venture? And I think the answer is yes.
Yes is the answer, but at that time, all they're thinking about is I'm going to be putting myself out there, and I'm going to be out this amount of money, and I might.
But I don't know if it's.
I'm just saying that's the way most people think, though.
But let's re-engineer that thinking and let's say to
Sure,
ourselves,
let's
like,
try to.
You put this kind of energy out there, and you put this kind of money out there, and you just don't focus on chasing the money, but really focus about being your authentic self and go out there and do the right thing for people. It's gonna come back to you tenfold. Do you not
100%.
agree?
You've
Yeah.
always invested in your business from day one.
But
So
I
has
never.
Ange.
But I
But
never.
that's the
but,
thing. Paul is right. We've even had conversations like invest money, and at times there's like you can't.
But more,
like
I
right now, I can be like I'm getting married. You know what I mean? But to be successful, you do have to invest money.
But my notion is that I personally, and you could tell me how you feel about this, I never invested money into the business to have a multiplier on the money invested. I invested money into the business to grow my relationships with my audience. And my audience has never been through digital. My audience has always been like physical.
Right.
But my investment in the business has always been through physical investment, opportunity, relationships.
Yep.
And I find that to be the same thing.
Right.
It's just your reach is digital, mine was physical.
Right. Right. Exactly.
But
It's the same.
but the investment's the same.
the same.
And I think, Ange, if you want me to tell you the truth of what I feel, is that you had an absolute blast doing what you did.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay. And whether it paid you dividends or not, you found a ton of value in intrinsic value of doing what you love to do and showing the world who you are. And whether it worked out or not is irrelevant because you loved every single second of it. And only the reason is you got dividends back is because you did it for affection and you did it for the fact that you love to do it.
Yeah, I can agree with all of that.
So, Ange, my last question, I only have one last one, is what are your predictions on where you see the real estate market going?
Yeah, I mean, just speaking to mortgage brokers, and I'm sure you can answer this even, how much have you seen applications and submissions go up? Like, are you seeing a lot of buyers coming back to the market? Right? So I think that's the answer right there. Obviously, rates have been held, what is it, 5 times in a row? Is it 5 we're at?
yeah, I think 5 or 6.
So I don't know if they've been held 5 times. My honest thing, and I'm a little bit in the chamomile. I think it's been 3 times.
I think it's more.
I think
I think it's 5.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it been three times that more than 3 times that they've held it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
So I think at this point now with the Bank of Canada too, they're saying that rates they should come down by June.
yeah.
Mid-
I heard
mid-year, yeah.
April, May, but now it's June. I don't know.
End of
But at
May.
this point, buyers now know that rates aren't going up anymore, and if they're not going up, we've definitely hit the bottom in prices.
I agree.
Right? So we're not. Now's the time to get into the market. Sure, rates still might be a little bit higher, but
At
you
least you're
Ange.
in.
at least you're in,
Yeah.
and you're gonna
You date the rate, you marry the house.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that there's an opportunity between now and June, which is I think where the, Fed is going to come in what's it called here? It's called the Bank of Canada, not the Fed. The Fed's in the U.S. They're going to come in and they're going to cut rates. And I think that there's a multiple of folks that are sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting for rates to come down, not understanding that.
That's the biggest mistake.
The second rates come down, what's going to happen to prices? Because we're facing a housing crisis.
Yep.
Right? Which means that if you're smart, you take a short-term fix today or a variable today should you have the ability to withstand any volatility in the market, and you buy in today. Because if my notion stands correct, which is mean date the rate, marry the house, you buy the house cheap and you date the rate, you're going to get a new rate in a couple of years. It's probably going to be lower than what you're paying today, but the house price will never change, right?
That's exactly how I would, the exact same advice that I would give my clients too. And I mean, I'm already starting to see it. I was in multiple offers 2 days ago on a property in Hamilton, and this is happening now. Like I've been in multiple offers on almost every single deal that I've submitted since February. So it's already starting.
Do you think that's a function of realtors pricing multiple offers, or do you think that's a function of low demand?
No, it's still
demand, supply.
My apologies.
No, it's still realtors using the offer presentation, multiple offer strategy, which is to list the home below market value, get a lot of showings in there, get some traffic, and then hold an offer date, and then everybody bids. But it's not necessarily just that. The house that I had an offer in on a couple days ago, where are we today? Friday. On Wednesday.
Today's Friday.
It was not priced for multiples. It was priced at market value. There were 3 offers, and it went over asking.
So my last question to you, before we kind of sign off on this thing, and it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, is if I were personally a new real estate agent coming into the market in today's environment, what would be a few tips that you would share with me as a successful, pronounced real estate agent in the community that you would say, Dan, this is what you need to follow?
Okay, I can tell you what you should do, and also what didn't. No, and what worked for me. So what you should do is obviously, go back to basics, which is the door knocking, the cold calling, working your database. For me, I didn't really do that, and it sounds terrible as a realtor. I've still never door knocked and cold called in my life. I need to start doing it and working, my listings in my areas. But I've just been fortunate enough and successful to, work on a referral business so far. So if I want to expand, I do need to do going back to the basics. So as a new realtor, definitely do all of those. Things that worked for me, number one, was social media. I hired a marketing team after 2 years in the business.
So after 2 years in the business, how much did you invest in that?
So it's quite a bit. I mean, it's almost like for them to run my social media, come up with plans, whatever it is, it's like almost $1,100 a month just for that.
And would you say that is an important piece to your business?
For me, it is. It comes back. I engage with a lot of people on social media. If you go on my page, you'll see it has worked for me. It has been very successful for me. It might not for everybody else, but for me, that is I have a great ROI on that, return on investment. I love it. Right? So for me, it makes sense. One other thing that really worked for me that I would highly recommend is when I became a realtor, I was just like, I need to obviously start meeting more people. I love playing sports. I play baseball, hockey, soccer. So I use sports for me to meet other people. I joined a team by myself. I knew nobody on the team. And my biggest, go ahead.
I love that.
What? Because that's for me, like, you join the team, that's cool, that's amazing. But there's so much fear around, getting to meet new people, telling them you're a realtor. Like, there's so much fear around that. Like,
you gotta lose
how did
it.
you?
You gotta get over
how?
It. You gotta overcome
How did you overcome it?
Well,
like, there's got to be some barriers that you've implemented in your life.
But he goes and plays. He's a good player, and then it comes up through conversation.
New team and
he's not doing it to get deals per se. He's doing it. He loves the sport. He's in.
I love the
there.
sport. Yeah.
Okay.
He's penetrating the community.
But to be a realtor and to be in this industry, you can't really live with fear. You have to.
Yeah, but what have you done to overcome that fear? And I think you've had that fear in both professional and personal. Like what have you done to overcome that fear?
Maybe I never really had it, to be honest, because I don't feel like I ever did anything to overcome it. I just was myself from the start. I'm a very social person. I'm outgoing, so for me it's been easy. So if I guess some people, if you're more introverted, it's going to be a little bit harder. But again, like going back to that, I joined this team. Within the first year on that team, I never even told anybody I was a realtor because it wasn't about that. You want to build the relationships, and it just comes up in conversation. One of the guys on that team, hey, you're a realtor, or me and my wife are looking for a house. That led to me working with 8 other family members
Wow.
from that one deal, 8 of their family members and 14 deals in 3 years.
Wow.
Love that.
Yeah.
What a
So
story.
But that's a testament to your customer service
The
and your
referral basis,
yes.
yeah.
Like it's not just like you did a deal for somebody and now they're gonna refer you 14 deals over 3 years. It's because of who you stand to be. And,
Yeah, but let's tie that all back again to when we talk about in coaching, get into your community, which sports, church,
synagogue.
the gym, synagogue, temple, anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're going, but you're going there to build real relationships, and deals will come once they realize what you are. And not enough people do it.
But I think that Ange's notion was to go in there to really enjoy the sport,
It
or
was.
really enjoy the
It
religion,
was.
or really enjoy the community. It wasn't.
But
It wasn't
that made
in
it more like you were more
was
comfortable.
more
You
natural,
enjoyed
right?
it.
Because
Right,
it's something
Mark?
you enjoy.
More
So that's-
natural.
That would be my advice for a new agent is to do something that
you
enjoy.
love.
You're already
Your
comfortable in,
Even if it's
yeah.
like pottery, like go do pottery.
I love pottery.
Right.
The othership.
love.
Yeah, then you meet people there.
Othership.
Have you ever been?
Othership.
love
Oh,
Othership.
I heard of thing.
sauna,
Maria's
sauna.
husband lives there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan, bro. I go a
Sauna
lot.
and cold
I
plunge.
can't do the cold stuff.
No,
So,
I
No?
never tried.
No.
I don't
It's
like
amazing.
othership.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
like I can't stay in
It's a
there.
mental
So
game.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Do find something that you love, a hobby,
love that.
meet people there. You already have that connection with them because they enjoy doing it too, right?
Yep.
So you're just more than likely to, build that relationship and maybe business comes from it.
Yep.
And for me, it really worked.
What kind of income did you envision or did you anticipate would come in your first year of being a realtor? Like, did you have a goal in mind to say to yourself, like, I'm gonna make $500,000 a year?
Not in my first year.
No,
absolutely
eh?
not.
So
I was
what's-
lucky to even. I thought I was.
So what was your kind of train of thought in that capacity?
probably to make what you're doing at CIBC.
Yeah, just to at least match what I was making at CIBC for sure. But even in my first year, I would have been happy with triple figures for sure. But in my first year, I did 5 deals, like sales, and I think that's pretty good as a
That's
first
pretty
year
good, yeah.
realtor, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I think
yeah.
the average is what, 1 to 2 deals. I think.
Well, I
for
think
your
the
first
average
year.
agent does 2 deals a year.
That's crazy.
Every
It's crazy,
realtor,
but it's
not a
80-20,
first year
right?
realtor.
It's 80-20,
Well, the average agent here does 20 mil. So
which is a pretty serious number.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, man.
Well, they say what 10% of the agents do of the realtors do
I thought
90.
it was 80%. So 20% of the agents do 80% of the business.
Is that for realtors
That's
or for
fair.
mortgage
I don't
brokers?
know.
For
I'm not
realtors, I
sure.
heard it's 10% do 90% of the business.
I think it's 20 do 80 here. Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think that what you've built and forget about the income or the amount of deals that you do. I think your biggest accomplishment, in my personal opinion, I could be totally crazy because I am a crazy guy, is that your authentic self, man. Like you walk in the streets with your head held high and your chest out, and it's who you are, and you're servicing a community that you love, and you're not taking on any judgment. And for me, that's the biggest accomplishment in the entire world. Like truthfully, I have never, no matter my shortcomings, ever participated in behavior that is not me.
And you
know?
shouldn't.
And it sometimes will come across in certain ways, and even today at lunch, whatever, like I am my true authentic self, and I am ranked as one of the top mortgage brokers in all of Canada. And for that to be an accomplishment, to just be myself, and for you to replicate that and almost tell me, because what you've done today is not telling me that you're your authentic self. What you've done is you've told me, Dan, it's okay to be yourself, and you need to find peace in that, to say that, Dan, I told you that it's okay to be you is something that the listeners today cannot achieve anywhere else.
was a very
in my
powerful-
in my
very-
personal opinion, like you said to me, that I am my authentic self is truly a replication of me allowing myself to be who I am today, and being comfortable and participating in the behavior that I think makes sense for myself.
Yeah, this was a very powerful episode, and we're at time, but we could have keep going. But thank you, Ange, for coming on.
Thank you so much, man.
We
Nice.
love
Thanks
it.
for having me. You're all amazing.
Totally motivational, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
for
same
real.
with you guys.
And-
Definitely.
and very
I am
good
always
looking.
remotivated.
We
What's
love
that?
you, Ange, and good looking, of course.
Well,
Also,
I had to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, here we go. Thank you so much, Ange.
You guys, or you mean Paul Martin?
No, come on.
Let's be real.
Don't put yourself down. No.
I'm not. I think I'm very handsome.
Post Malone.
You're a stud.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.